let's go to your, let's say, your professional career really
Yeah,
kicking in.
yeah.
Um, you travelled obviously to a lot of futures. Did you travel with anyone, with a coach, or was it with other players?
At the beginning, mostly other players,
Mhm.
and then the amount with a coach picked up. So I actually was coached by my brother throughout my whole pro time from then. So 2012 came back, kind of another one of those full circle things as I was back at Gosling, which was near my home. I started training there, where my brother was one of the coaches in the coaching team. Matt Wilcox was the director there, and he did a great job of sort of, for a few of us, facilitating a really professional environment when we weren't bringing many resources to the table, which I think is quite common, and people around Britain and the world are skilled, and a lot of us are professional players that didn't reach the heights of reap the rewards of people really committing and putting a lot of time and effort into that stuff. But yeah, so I started training there, and yeah, 2012 was nearly all futures. I think my brother came out to a handful, and then from 2013, ranking gone up a bit. Just committed that little bit harder. Parents supported a bit more. Actually, having said that, I was able to, and that was, I guess, a benefit of the US college experience, is some of the connections over there. I was able to raise quite a lot of sponsorship money in those first 2 or 3 years. And so, yeah, just started investing that and worked my way up to Tom being on the road for about 15 weeks a year. So half of the tournament, normally playing around, 28 or 30. And that continued basically until I stopped.
Yeah. So here's a awkward question for Tom. Tom is your brother. What are the pros and cons of being coached by your brother?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Sorry, Tom.
I would not have been able to answer it at all while we were doing it, I don't think, but I definitely thought about it. Yeah, never directed that question, but thought about it a little bit more since. The biggest and best part of it, 100%, is that he was in it for all the right reasons the whole time. Just wanted me to become the best I could, and him to develop as a coach, and us just go about it as a team. And I just felt the whole time that he was there for me and wanted the best for me. Yeah. So, you can't really ask for more than that from a coach-player relationship. And so that is, I guess, if we're fortunate to have really good relationships. So that was kind of there to begin with. And then, yeah, it's more likely, isn't it, if it's a family member like that they're fully there for you.
Yeah.
Then I guess an extension of that is the trust that you have. You're just fully open, honest, whether that's specific tennis things on how to get your forehand better, and I can't feel that, why are you telling me that, to sharing your deepest and darkest, inner thoughts when you're struggling under pressure in matches and whatever, is you can just share all. And likewise, he can do the same. He can be, I guess we've never termed it like that, but he can be a vulnerable coach and say, I'm not sure on that, but I'll do my best to find out, and don't know the answer there, can't help you there, probably no one could help you there, all those kind of things. And then I guess the downside, which we've definitely reflected on in later years, is we're similar. And right. So we have a similar thought process, and we'll there's differences, but we'll attack things in a similar way. And so when you're really getting to the, maximizing is a tough term, one we could probably have a whole podcast on, but like when you're getting closer to maximizing your ability, it gets more difficult to find those little edges. And there's probably times where we're finding similar solutions and thinking that's the right answer, right, when actually there could have been some outside outside consultant or something that might have broken that little problem open.
I never really given that much thought in terms of the downside of two people being similar, because most people would think, well, that's ultimately a great thing, which I think it is to a degree. But the solution thing I've never thought of, in terms of if you both have the same types of thought processes or systems for thinking, and you both come up with the same idea, that another pair of eyes, another personality or character would actually go, no, consider this one.
Yeah.
I never really considered that before. So
Yeah, it's kind of those team dynamics, and I think we're more aware of it now. Actually, when we just hypothesize on things, or still close and sharing ideas, as we're like, okay, we've both come up with this idea, and we think it's a decent one, but
yeah,
let's make sure we check it with some other people because
yeah,
we could be off.
yeah.
And we did that at different times. Definitely had outside outside thoughts and periods of actually working with someone else in our little team and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that can be a we weren't as aware of it initially as we were at the end.
I think, have you read Matthew Said's latest book on diversity?
No, I have it.
Yeah.
Is it called? Is it the Rebel Ideas one?
Maybe I thought it was. Maybe, yeah, maybe it is actually. But yeah, the whole idea is about diverse teams
Right.
being together, and I think that's something that I'm pretty sure most organizations or businesses struggle from to a degree. Either they have diverse teams and they view that as a challenge or a conflict or whatever, versus actually embracing the diversity and welcoming someone else's opinion in. Different characters actually bring something to the table. I think tennis in particular, obviously it's all I know really. I know that I think that's a huge issue in tennis, is that I might bring an opinion and people are threatened by that opinion, rather than actually, most of the time, if someone comes to me with an opinion, I'll go, actually, that's I never thought of that before. I might even sometimes I might react defensively in the moment, but then I always reflect in hindsight. But it's not something I've given massive thought to in terms of a player-coach relationship at that level. So it's one for me.
Yeah, and as you were saying that, I was just thinking it is hard, and it's whenever we would reach out to have little moments with Louis or several other coaches that we just and the other coaches at Gosling and stuff, as you in all the good ways, you've built up that player coach relationship and that armor around it a little bit, and it's quite difficult for both of you.
Yeah.
In that moment to get something where you're like, it can either be really frustrating. It's like, why can't we figure that one out?
Yeah.
Or just like, I remember my, kind of however you term it, my sort of emotional brain or monkey mind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If coaches would dip in, and some of them hugely experienced, and I've been on court with the best world-class coaches in the world, and they would throw something at me. My immediate emotion would be, oh, you don't know what I'm working on. You don't know what. Yeah, it's literally like you don't know me, but it's like you don't know what the 6 months I've just been working on that shot to get it to that position to be as crap as you think it is. It's like,
that's true.
This thing that you're like critiquing is so much better than it was, and the emotion as a player is just
think this is shit. You should have seen it 6 months ago.
That's what you want to shout. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good point from both sides of the coin there, because there's part of us, as like you say, the chimp, if you like, wants to confront that and give them a bit of a slap, but right. the coach should also consider that in terms of when they intervene or want to give feedback, is like to do a bit of a background in terms of what has been the progress of this player. Because imagine you feel that you're on an upwards curve and some coach comes in and tells you you're crap. Then you're like, all that hard work and you're not recognizing it. So, yeah. So